Okay, so this is a response to Theoretical Bullshit's post about who you would talk to if you could talk to any 5 people, historical, fictitious, non-fictitious, for 3 hours each. Um, I haven't been really impressed with some of the answers people have given, so I thought I would give my own. So the first answer is I'd like to speak to the very last scientist in the universe, whoever that would be. And I want to do that because I would be fascinated to find out at the very end of the scientific enterprise what's the state of the knowledge of sentient beings in the universe about the universe and about themselves. I can't imagine that that wouldn't be a fascinating conversation. And remember, you said there's no language barrier and it can be absolutely anybody, so that would be pick number 1. The second would be probably the last philosopher in the universe. I can't imagine that wouldn't also be a very interesting conversation about what the ultimate end state of philosophy was, or about the end of the human search for truth and understanding of his situation. And interestingly, those 2 people, the last scientist and the last philosopher, might wind up being the same person. Certainly, the first, modern scientist, using the modern conception of science, and one of the first, philosophers were the same person, Aristotle. So that would be interesting. After those 2, the choices get a little more interesting. Douglas Adams, the author of A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I can't imagine that spending 3 hours with that gentleman wouldn't be absolutely fascinating. Also, I think, let me think for a second. Also, I think Albert Einstein would be someone who would be interesting to talk to. Probably a cliche pick. A lot of people are going to say that they'd like to spend time talking to him, but I imagine it would be fascinating to try and get a sort of the most comprehensive and deep understanding of space and time that we can have, at least in the present state of science. And other than those 4, it's hard to pick who the last one would be. But I suppose I'd have to go with Theoretical Bullshit and say that God, whether God is fictitious or non-fictitious, would be the last individual that I'd like to speak to. If not God, then I suppose maybe another version of myself from an alternate parallel universe with a different quantum state might be an interesting person to talk to, just to see, how drastic the differences in my life could have been if I had made, some other subtle choices or not so subtle choices. Anyway, that's my list, so thanks.